It's a mic check. It's a mic check. It's a mic check. This is going to be a real quick, spontaneous live. This is off the dome. And of course, I am QI, unapologetically, unapologetically QI entering the building. Let me start off by saying that one of the only reasons that, see, I don't need validation from any sector because I'm a real content creator. Real content creators don't need validation. I can remember when I first started my channel, which looking back now was a mistake, but I did it. But when I first started my channel, LSA stated that they told yes, that, you know, she was wrong because they knew that I was an abuse sector content creator. Because when I kicked off my channel, I was doing multiple content. Not like one that likes to degrade. I don't like to do black. Came from the country. I'm not pro black. Let me repeat that. I am not, because into a type of situation, like Dominic, uh, you know, like a lot of the other organizations. I am for Black progress, like our ancestors, like Martin. That's me, which means that I don't hate other races. I just focus, you know, family, community, and, you know, Black community, humanity as a whole. Because at the end of the day, this ain't about, it ain't even about rich or poor. Because a lot of, you know, people out here think that they have money. But y'all got to remember that money holds no value. At the end of the day, the value of the dollar can drop in a minute. People could swipe your account, you get sued. So many things can happen. So money doesn't hold value. Resources do. However, this is not really about a race. This is not a race thing. The race war, the reason they're baiting the race war and different things of that nature is because they're distracting us. They're making us fight each other, divide and conquer. But at the end of the day, when they cut DEI, when they cut a lot of these programs, it affects a lot of the other races. Affirmative action. Everybody thinks that everything was for blacks, right? But it wasn't. It was for other minorities as well. Because didn't we not find out, or didn't y'all not realize that that's the play on words or terms that they tried to run on us in the Carmela Anthony case? It was like, it was not an all white jury. They had minorities because, you know, we're considered as minorities. We're considered as minorities, but so are the Asians. So are the Middle Easterners. So are the Latinos. And see, a lot of people don't, you know, realize the etymology or the definition of words and how this is how they use trickery. Because they said the easiest way to get over on, you know, black people is to put it in a book, put it in words, and so on. Because, you know, you know, in a lot of ways, sometimes we don't utilize critical thinking. We don't utilize comprehension. We don't utilize information in our brains to the fullest capacity. For instance, we would prefer to engage in what y'all call entertainment, but what I call dysfunction, toxicity, degrading each other, trying to harm each other, bringing each other down, trying to tear each other's lives apart. And you don't realize that that was taught to you by your oppressors. You are a tool and a worker of your oppressor. And speaking of that, let me just merge on into the beef sector because basically that's what the beef sector has become. I'm basing this off of Tasha K's post, right? Everybody wants to talk about it, and that really doesn't matter to me because, like, basically, I'm just trying to be the best version of myself. I don't want to be dysfunctional, toxic, or any of those things. I don't want that to be my legacy here online. Um, they say if you give, you shall receive. If you release positivity, positivity comes back to you. That's me. I know it's not a whole lot of that in the world. I know a lot of y'all, because of post-traumatic slave disorder or some other functions, y'all don't believe in that. Hold on one sec. It's like so sad. It's like planting a seed. I like to plant a seed in the ground, fertilize it, and watch it grow. Now, depending on if that seed is negative, you're going to produce negative. If that seed is positive, you're going to produce positive. So I'm not trying to be validated by a sector, the world, or anything of that nature. A lot of y'all say y'all believe in God. I'm a true spiritual person. And I understand sacred sciences. And what I mean by that is nature. When you have a proper understanding of nature, like I just used the example of the seed, you have a proper understanding that the world is in the condition it is in because of what we do. All of us. The earth is yielding what, what the seeds that we plant and what we harvest. If we're planting negative seeds, hey, we're going to have a negative world, a negative earth, a negative planet. And that's pretty much how it goes. Now, everybody likes to be entertained. Everybody likes to laugh. But at the same time, one of the things that I notice is people don't know how to take anything in life serious. It's like the avoidance. It's like mental illness. It's like negative coping skills. And that's basically like what the beef sector has become. Now, I can't say that the original beef sector has always been that way. I mean, was all positive. It most definitely wasn't. But the one difference between the original beef sector and now is that the original beef sector, we were arguing or we were beefing or we were debating or over serious topics, stuff that made a difference. These days, it's like fifth graders. It's like elementary school. It's like you're big, you're small, you're this, you're that. Your hair is short, your hair is long. All day long, and it's not like women empowerment, foster care, uh, traumatic childhood things that were brought out here. We were debating over that. And then there was accountability where there was no accountability. Now, accountability does not mean cult like behavior, dictatorship. It does not mean that one has a right to tell grown people what to do and what not to do, where to go, where not to go, who to give to, who not to give to, who to support and who not. But when people don't have talent and know they don't, when they become envious of others, they run these agendas. Somewhat like MAGA and the Republicans, conservative Republicans or whatever. They're out here snatching down the Anthony family's gifts and gold, different things of that nature. What does that have to do with y'all? Because on the other side, MAGA Jeff Metcalf, him and his wife both have gifts and goals. Him and his wife have been projecting. They're the ones who's been buying the houses and the cars, not the Anthony family that is close to buying a house is the fact that they've had to move 8 times through the threats. And I'm almost like having a hard time feeling like the Metcalfs have been threatened. I think they've run that out here because a lot of times, narcissistic types, dictator types, they like to play victim. And so, like, we've never seen police reports or anything. And even if we did, it could have been a part of the script, a part of the show, like that trial was. That mock trial, that pretend trial. But we all know that that trial was unjust. But to get back to what I was saying about the beef sector was great when we debated on serious topics. When, the beef was about serious topics. When there was creativity. It wasn't just about all these various people hitting a panel. They think that the frenemy sector thinks that bringing about a bunch of new people is going to make the beef sector great again. All it is they're like recruiting their army. They're like recruiting their minions for their cult. That's all. That's all. They're recruiting the army and their minions for their cult. And so they want to feel that they could stop people from getting support, stop people from getting money, stop people from doing this. If it's not that, they're slandering and defaming other content creators. Like, people are out here talking about people are second generation, like they're the authority. People out here that don't like lesbians, misogynists, and who do steal ideas. We've known for a minute that larger creators like to steal a lot of the ideas from smaller creators and then take credit. That's been happening, especially by certain people, for a long time in the beef sector. And that's a part of why a lot of the creative content creators, or the content creators that during the original beef sector days, they stopped running out here with that. They said, well, if y'all are going to support and give numbers to the basic minimum, then that's what I'm going to give y'all too. Because at the end of the day, at least I didn't lose nothing. Yeah. And at least I'm not feeding them. I'm not producing nothing for them to steal and take from me again. Because that doesn't feel nice. When you run out here and you're creating your own lane, and then somebody snatch it up and already larger than you, they don't even give you a chance to gain momentum behind it and get your own little thing going, get your own little numbers flowing before they snatch it. That's what type of people are around here. People who need validation, people who have insecurity issues, people who are greedy, selfish, scamming, grifters, all of that. That's what we see going on. And that's, the real deal truth. I'm sorry. I have to tell it. Because even when I tell the truth, I'm not telling the truth out of hate. I'm telling the truth out of love. Because I do love humanity. I love my Black people. I love people in general. And I feel like there's enough here on earth, enough here on YouTube for us all to win. And some of us, or some people, don't have to be number one. Some people are not, like, they don't need attention, accolades, and awards, you know, and different things of that nature. Some people, like myself, I come on here because I like helping. I want to do my part in making society great again. And I see YouTube, social media as an avenue for that. There are people that haven't gotten therapy, haven't, surpassed issues in their life. And they're basically projecting them or throwing them out onto others right now. So that's why a lot of this stuff means so much to them, to the point where they will do anything for it. Anything. Sacrifice anybody, like they say in the music industry, right? Like the Illuminati. Sacrifice anybody. And it's sad, but it's true. We see Charleston White over there selling out. Dominic Alexander has sold out. We see the MAGA Republicans out here selling out. We see these people selling out for a cookie, a crumb that ain't gonna last. And they say the same people that you see on your way to the top are the same people that you see on your way down. And that's facts. Like, we all have our moments. It's, hey, everybody can get a turn. If God is a righteous God, then everybody gonna have their turn. Everybody's gonna get a moment. Everybody's gonna shine. Everybody. So you're not naturally being yourself. You're not, producing organic, genuine things when you have to run out here, steal, unalive, and destroy for it. Which brings me into whoever sent that message to Tasha K was definitely a misogynist. Definitely does not like lesbians. Because all you got to do is just look at the list and look at who's not on the list. And they definitely don't know original beef sector. Because there was so many people from the original beef sector. There was major players that was left off. Everybody says Wiley. It could have been, because I just don't know why Tasha K would do that, other than probably being a shock jock as she is, and just sit back and getting a kiki and a laugh. Because Tasha K was around, and Tasha K didn't need nobody really to tell her who some of the players was, because she was around and she was watching. So I think Tasha K was, joking, laughing, trying to see what it gives, playing in somebody's face. Because we all know that there was a lot of people on there that weren't beef sector, especially not original beef sector, during the time when it was really popping, during the time it was organic and not fake or fictitious. But I mean, it does, don't say it. But at any rate, I'm just saying that's just how much or serious, or how it's just gotten around here. I mean, a lot of butt licking, boot licking. It just reminds me of MAGA and Jim Crow. Oh my God. And having colonized, indoctrinated minds. And that's what I'm sad about. I'm sad about the fact that instead of people looking at producing quality, they're looking at the quantity that comes in their chat. They're looking at these numbers. Oh, I got such and such. I got such and such. But do you get such and such in your chat? And then even if you don't get such and such in your chat, or do get such and such in your chat, what are you producing? Are people so docile now? So dumbed down and docile now until we know we're bored. We know that this stuff is not entertainment. Because, I found myself, nothing else is on, click, and it's just noise. Click is just some noise. So I do appreciate the fact that Tasha K threw something out there like that, because we do need quality. But using names and stuff like that, she could have just basically said, where did the beef sector go? And that would have been enough. Like, let's bring back some of the real content creators, some of the talent content creators, the original beef sector, and all of these people who want to be in control, who want to wipe out the history, who want to unvalidate other people because they have a desperate need of being important. You didn't create it. You didn't make it pop. It ain't what it is. The name didn't come off of you. Sit back and continue to take notes, because you have benefited. You've benefited. But when you're trying to stop the people who laid the bricks, the people who went through the blood, sweat, and tears and stuff, that's just not right. Then you want to erase history. Then we doing all these additional things. Then we're letting in all of these. Okay, so let me run down the list for you. Yeah, I share Taz to go. All right, so Taz, basically I like to debate. A lot of us debaters, we end up debating. We like to debate people who have opposing outlooks in life, whether that be a racist, whether that be sexist, like we'll debate, because at the end of the day, everybody learns, because you hear it from both sides, and sometimes it gives people like myself the opportunity to hear the other side. So you got it's the Crucibles, which are a Christian nationalist group that are under MAGA, under Trump, Republicans. The Panelverse, MAGA, that's Izzy, Resto, Flow State, and all of them, MAGA, Republicans, Marathon Kev, all Republicans. You have a set of regular old black Republicans too, because they're not all the same. It's like two separate groups, right? Because a lot of the people who are deeply religious, a lot of the religions are very misogynistic, patriarchal. So you got a black extremist, just like, for instance, you have Charleston White, who's over here with non-black people. Then you have Dominic Alexander, who's over here, and he's grifting as well for on the backs of black people, right? And along with, so you got black nationalists and YT nationalists, and all of them most of them are Republican. A lot of them are Republican. A lot of them are MAGA, because of the MAGA beliefs. Like, MAGA does not like, it's misogynistic, doesn't like women, like the abortion. Pay attention. They don't like the LGBTQIA, especially trans. Um, they think that Black people have been the biggest recipients of welfare and socialism. They call it social communism, socialism, whatever. It's a couple of them. Because they've stolen their money. And they continue to steal because a lot of them are grifters and different things like that. It came off the black back of cheap labor, what they call it, sweat equity, and things of that nature. They've done the most um, gruesome things for money. Um, so basically they've heard be selected predominantly Black women, LGBTQIA. Notice that they have weaned the LGBTQIA out, especially the lesbians, because that's two versus one, right? Then because they heard it was money, and not just that, it's body and it's votes. Because y'all got to keep in mind that election is coming up. So they've been out here running agendas, trying to basically make it seem that Black people are dumb, docile. And then you got Black ones that are out here doing the same thing because they think that they're different and they don't realize they're Samuel L. Jackson in the movie Django. They feel the same about them. They're just utilizing them as a tool right now. But you got people out here running psychological psyops, as y'all call it, mind manipulation, MK Ultra on us because they want to bring back in Jim Crow because they benefit financially. They benefit in a lot of ways behind Jim Crow and different things because humans are the biggest money making industry, whether labor, whatever, bringing in AI. So, whatever, right? All right. So basically, because this is a democracy, the United States is a democracy, the majority has to agree. So, I've been watching them for a long time. What do? They come in and manipulate, manipulate your mind. Especially if you don't have a lot of knowledge, you have a weak mind, you're not a critical thinker, you can't think outside the box, the things that they say is going to sound real good unless you're a thinker. And that's why I love debating. That's why I like critical thinking. That's why I like thinking, free thinking. That's why I'm not a follower. Like they say, only the strong will survive. And they didn't mean strong physically, that meant strong mentally and spiritually. Mentally and spiritually. Because anybody who feels like it's okay to unalive a baby when you know a baby's in the car, to, unleash on a car with a baby in it over a box of Pampers, ain't mentally and spiritually strong. Like a lot of this stuff that people are doing, we know that is corrupt, evil, and wrong. Nobody with compassion, nobody with decency, nobody who's in touch with the true God. Nobody who's in touch with nature, nobody who's spiritual, nobody who's balanced, nobody who's, everybody got a few mental issues, but nobody who's mentally stable would ever feel like any of that is okay. Especially children. But not just children, but women. You got to keep in mind that women are the portals to the next generation, the portals of life. If you harm, break, mess up a mother in any type of way, that cycle continues. That's cycles, cycles. Everything flows in cycles. That's why they say people call it generational curses, but it's actually not. It is cycles of trauma, cycles of dysfunction, cycles of things. And, until somebody critically thinks, free thinks, decides to, step up and not follow and to do things differently and stop these cycles, or as people call it, generational curses. It's not a curse. It's a choice. A curse is not a choice. But at any time, you should want to do better. And you have to stop it. Somebody got to stop it. It's not easy either. Like they say, what's about the road being narrow and the road being wide? Yeah. It's not easy, walking down that lonely, narrow road versus that wide road with billions of people. It's not easy, but that just determines who you are, whether you're weak or you're strong, whether you have a relationship or connection to nature, God, that's, like determined by you. Armageddon, the war of good versus evil, God versus devil. That's what that determines. And nobody ever said it was going to be easy. But it's like, who are you? Do you really believe in God? Are you, you really believe in Christ? Are you, really a God-fearing person? That's what that's all about. But that's what we have out here. And then we have, what they say, WW3, World War III was going to be information on the internet. That's what we got. We have digital. Everything is digital. This is it. You are producing good or bad. You are producing toxicity. You are producing good or evil. You are a part of it. You are feeding. You are harvesting. So, the world ain't moving by, the earth ain't like, it ain't the earth. It ain't nature. It's people. So what are you doing? Just like Obama said, we are the change that we want to be or we want to see. But like I said, we're allowing a lot of that hatred into the B sector. Because y'all don't know who these people are. Y'all don't do research. Y'all don't vet people. And these are people that are your deep enemies. All because you want validation. All because of, what is it? The fictitious ego. Instead of just coming on here trying to be yourself. And Tashak is a shock jock. And most of these people out here are so greedy. And greedy for what? Just to have more than the next. And you can tell people who didn't come from nothing because they're out here trying to grab everything. They want it all. Because people who came from something, they're not greedy. Because they know stuff replenishes itself. You ain't got to grab stuff off other people's plates. But that's all I, really wanted to say. I'm going to come on a little later to talk about, social justice. Some stuff that, is in my lane. I just saw this stuff and I needed to do a live. And I was like, let me just go and speak on that real quick. Get it off my chest. So until a little later, a couple of hours from now, it is unapologetically QI, and I'm now going to exit the building. And for all of my people who are not beef sector, you probably don't understand the thing that I'm saying. I'm addressing a social, um, an algorithm that I was in, that I am in, on YouTube. Please don't go seek them out. Not unless you like, well, I don't know. I'm not doing it to y'all. Don't go. If you like positive things, let's stay positive. Let's stay focused. Let's stay on social justice. But every now and then, you know, I just want to talk about some of the things that I see. And that's all. But until next time, peace, love, hair grease. And it's unapologetically QI. Kisses to everyone, love to everyone. And I'm exiting the building. I'm out. Peace.